Ashley Iaconetti and Jared Haibon are two of the most popular members of Bachelor Nation. Ashley was on Chris Soules' season of The Bachelor.
You don't even understand. Like, I don't like guys very easily.
And Jared was on Caitlin Bristow's season of The Bachelorette.
I want to be exactly like you, Caitlin. Teach me your ways.
Ashley and Jared have had tons of ups and downs in the last 3 years, but they finally officially started dating earlier this year, and after just a couple months, they're engaged.
People have seen us on TV, but they've seen us on TV for 2 months out of those 3 years. So as much as people think they know our relationship, they really don't. Now we're engaged.
Jared's the only one I'm attracted to. Like, he has perfect eyes, he has a perfect nose, he has really nice lips, and he's pretty perfect.
My first impression of Jared was, who is that? I'm in love.
And my first impression of Ashley was, who is that and is she crying? I didn't know anything about you.
You knew a little bit because you saw me on Chris Soules' season.
I know, I just knew that you were very emotional. Then I started talking to you. You were just so down to earth and relaxed and really cool. And we got along really well.
I truly don't know exactly what I want right now.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad I got to spend a one-on-one date with you.
You're so cute.
I could tell that you liked me pretty early on.
When I kind of have a crush on someone, I really clam up. I will end up completely mute.
I'm a hopeless romantic, and I never was really sure about love at first sight, but when I saw him for the first time in person, it was a totally different feeling than I ever experienced before. It didn't just seem like attraction. It was like I was hit by a brick.
You look like Jasmine.
Thank you. That's like the nicest compliment anyone could ever give me. And I'm wearing my Jasmine bathing suit right now.
We know this. We talked about it.
Yeah.
I was just coming off The Bachelorette, where I was very invested in that with the particular girl that was the lead, and then went pretty much right into Paradise, and then all of a sudden I have this beautiful girl who I get along so well with, but is very aggressive and nope, this is right now. And it was just, I think, a very confusing state for me. And so instead of always being 1 foot in or 1 foot out, I felt that was very unfair for Ashley. So I decided it was best if I said that we stay friends. As bad as I wanted it to be there, and I know how badly you wanted it to be there too, I don't know if our connection is strong enough right now.
Even though it didn't work out romantically, they left Mexico as friends.
I've never seen a conflict, even throughout our friendship, really, that I've ever viewed as something that would come between us, more so something that we would work past together instead of having it divide us.
Definitely after Bachelor in Paradise 3.
There's no one here for me, and then to see you with someone, I can't do it both. I can't do both things.
We were just working through a whole bunch of disagreements and
Different
actions.
point of view.
I could be with somebody else, but I can't be with not someone else. I need to be with someone, I can't do it.
Yeah, we talked
we
through
wanted
a lot.
to fight through it.
Well, I think we knew that we didn't want to lose each other as friends.
Right.
Especially at that point. We didn't want that season to be the reason why Ashley and I were not friends anymore.
What this rose represents to me is a potential future relationship after Paradise. And I just don't think I'm there.
It was the day before he went to Bachelor in Paradise, Australia. And he came over, because he wanted to come over and say goodbye, but he also didn't say anything while he was over. And he was just zoned out.
Because I just wanted to be I don't want to go here. I don't want to do Bachelor in Paradise Australia. I think I might be in love with you. I don't know what the hell's going on in my head. And it was dumb because there was never going to be a time that presented itself. The time is now. Take action now. And that's what happened when you went to Winter Games and I heard you were dating someone.
If things continue the way they've been going, I could definitely see myself falling in love with Kevin.
I hated myself. God, I hated myself. It's I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. What am I doing? I should have done something. I should have said something. I'm losing the most important person in my life.
Ashley and Jared went on a pre-planned vacation with a couple of their friends and her sister to St. Lucia, and that's when he knew he really wanted to come clean and tell her everything that he was feeling. At the time, she was still dating Kevin from Bachelor Winter Games.
We talked for an hour, I think, in the water, and it was just a very emotional conversation. She cried and I cried.
And we laughed.
And we laughed, and it was definitely a positive conversation, but we left her and she said, I'm going to continue dating this guy.
But then at the airport, when she was about to board, Jared really wanted to kiss her, and it was one of those rom-com moments.
The moment is now. Like, I know she wants me to kiss her, and I want to kiss her, and it's like, don't be scared.
I was like 7 people away from like getting my ticket scanned, and then he goes, "Can I steal you for a second?" and like grabs me around the pillar and just went in for it.
Yeah,
And I was like, there's the chick flick moment.
Yeah, so I pulled her aside and said, I forgot to give you something. And gave her a kiss. It was a great kiss. It was such a good kiss. I knew from day one. It was like, this, I'm gonna propose at some point. I just didn't know when. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I've always wanted to propose in a place that meant something to both me and her. And what better place than the place where we first met?
When Jared professed his love for her in St. Lucia, she definitely was overwhelmed. She was happy, but she was also conflicted because Kevin was in the picture still. She took it all in and said, I need to think about this. But I think she knew in her heart that Jared was the one for her. And so things with Kevin fizzled out.
Mid-March, I think, is when we really started the transition from friendship to relationship. But the crazy part was, it was the smoothest transition.
I always felt like he loved being with me, but he never wanted me in any sort of romantic sense. So it was amazing to see how natural the romance and like the sensuality of our relationship came.
It just felt right. It really just felt right. As soon as we started dating.
Yeah.
It just felt it's so crazy now thinking about a time where we didn't touch, where we were just friends. That seems abnormal. And it happened for so long. We were friends for 2.5 years.
Their love story began in Paradise, and that's where they got engaged. He wanted to pop the question and really come full circle. He had broken her heart twice there, and he thought, I have to make it right.
I knew from day one. It was like, this, I'm gonna propose at some point. I just didn't know when. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I've always wanted to propose in a place that meant something to both me and her. And what better place than the place where we first met? I was nervous. I was definitely, well, you'll have to, I can't really go into details about it, unfortunately. And so, it's just, that moment is very special between Ashley and I. And obviously it's on Bachelor in Paradise, so it will be televised. And so, you guys will be able to watch it as well when it airs.
I knew that Jared was my person, and I was so in love with him. Well, for a while now, but I knew that when I got the ring, and during that whole like hour of like the engagement happening and like the post interviews and all that, looking at him and being far more in awe of him and like just connecting with him here and barely looking at the ring. Like, it's so beautiful, and it's a symbol of like our love and commitment, but he's my prize, you know? This is just a pretty piece of jewelry.
Ashley's 30, Jared's 29. They're both ready to settle down. So they're gonna give themselves about a little over a year to plan and get everything ready. They want a huge wedding.
We are thinking of just sometime next August, September-ish.
We don't even have a timeline, if I'm being honest. Like, we talk about it.
I mean,
we both want to get married within like the next year.
yeah, okay, there you go.
That's
What do
the
you mean?
timeline. We're very happily
We'll
engaged
see.
right
We'll
now,
do.
so we're just soaking in the moment. We'll see.
It's not surprising, but Ashley definitely has a 5-year plan.
We are probably going to be in LA for the next 5 years because I want to continue doing what I'm doing with entertainment hosting. And 10 years would be where we would maybe go over to the East Coast again. We're both from there, and we both thought about raising kids over there. But I definitely would see at least one kid in the next 5 years. And there you go.
I mean, we've talked about it, that we'll be here for about 5 years, and I agree. You know, we're engaged now, so we'll get the wedding and then maybe pop out a couple kids and see where we're at.
We're both from families where it's just 2 kids. So I think 2 kids is where we're at, and then we will see after that.
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
Yeah.
Pretty much whatever the hell she says. That's my life for the next 5 years. That's my 5-year plan. Whatever she says.
Jared, what is there that you would add in there that I didn't?
No, I totally agree. You say it best. She is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And so my PSA to guys would be, don't be scared, just jump in, you know? Don't always be 1 foot in, 1 foot out and be like, oh, well, we'll be hesitant in the future. No, go for it. Because it's only when you go for it that you realize how great it truly can be. And it can be great.
He's quite the romantic.